Alright everybody, this is battle number 56 against kingcon95. Now, keep your eye on this guy, up-and-coming battler. I'm going to put his link in the description. He only has maybe 50 subs right now. Actually, he just did a 50 sub battle. But I want you guys to go sub. He's a really good battler. He's got good narrations, good vids, everything. So I was pretty pumped for this. This is just a fun battle, so I just took some random pokes. Actually, took some pokes that I've retired that you guys have seen before. At the beginning here, he leads with a shout-out. I lead with a Rose Raid. He plays me like a fiddle at the beginning here. He goes for a taunt, expecting the toxic spikes, and then he U-turns out, obviously expecting my switch. So I go to Blue Marine, take the U-turn, and he switches into Swampert. Now, I was debating between Stealth Rock and Hypnosis, and I decided just to go for Hypnosis. Bad idea. He subs up, expecting the Hypnosis. And obviously I can't hit with a Hypnosis through a substitute. And so at this point, I'm just like, you know what, screw it. I'm going to explode. And he crits me here, but that doesn't make up for the crit that I make later that wins me the match. He should have won this match, but I don't know, it's just hacks that's just the way the ball rolls sometimes. So I blow up on his sub just to get rid of it because I want to clean switch in for my Rose Raid. Now I was debating, maybe I should have used a different move other than Energy Ball, but he's really good about prediction. I didn't want him to over-predict me and expect something else or whatever and try to stay in and maybe hit me with something. So I just went for an Energy Ball. He brings in a Registeel, obviously not going to do diddly squat. He switches out to a Dugtrio. Now, I'm expecting the Sucker Punch, so I'm going to go for a second layer of Toxic Spikes. It doesn't matter either way because I have a Focus Sash. Now, it would have been nicer if he'd gone for the Sucker Punch the first time because then I still would have had my Sash intact. But either way, I have 2 layers of Toxic Spikes, so it's pretty sweet. And so he's got a Dugtrio in, and I bring in a Gyarados. And I've had this Gyarados for a long time, but I've never actually used it. And mostly because I hate Gyarados. But so I go for a DD, and he brings in a Weezing. Now I run my own Weezing, and I'm expecting a T-Bolt, but it turns out he has Thunder. So I bring in Trunks, who you all should recognize, my old buddy Trunks. And I just go for a Stealth Rock. He burns me, which sucks, but it doesn't end up mattering too much. Maybe it does. I guess it does. So I mean, it's kind of a bummer that I'm burned. But he ends up switching out back to his Swampert. Gets poisoned. Pretty good situation there. I switch out to Fatal. My frickin' Magmortar. Now he's Scarfed, and I was expecting him to try and sub up, expecting me to switch because obviously water and ground over fire. But so he goes for a Focus Punch. So I just go ahead and go for a Focus Blast, and he can't hit me. Unfortunately, the poison doesn't kill him. That happens like twice, where I just have to do like one last finishing blow because the poison left him with like 2 HP. But so I get rid of his Swampert. And I know that he's going, this sucked too. This really sucked. This actually might have, if this hadn't happened, then I wouldn't have had to rely on the hacks. Focus Blast, since I'm Scarfed, I'm stuck on that. And because Focus Blast isn't stab, it doesn't kill his frickin' Dugtrio. And then the poison doesn't even kill his frickin' Dugtrio. So I have to bring in Trunks. Now that was the other bad decision. Shouldn't have brought in Trunks. Because he's probably banded, so I should have brought in frickin' Gyarados and just gone for a DD. And then I would have had, I don't know. It was kind of a mistake, but Ice Shard is able to take out Dugtrio, and he brings in Chatman. Now, Stealth Rock played a huge role in this match in making it closer than it would have been, because he brings in, obviously he loses 25% of his HP. Now, the burn hurts the Ice Shard. That's what I was talking about earlier. Did it really affect me in this match? Yes, it did. The burn did, because Ice Shard would have done a hell of a lot more on Chatman. His little Chatot, had it not been for the burn. But so he switches out, and I go for another Ice Shard. And here's where he really thinks about things. He predicts, obviously I'm going to EQ now. He predicts the EQ, switches right out to Chatot. Now, it sort of matters, but it also doesn't, because he ended up having to switch in his Chatot again and take 25% more damage. So, now, had I Ice Sharded, it would have ended up killing him with Stealth Rock plus Ice Shard, but, I don't know. But he's still, great prediction on his part. So I bring in Riway. Don't remember how I got that name. It was something obscure. And I know his ultimate goal is to bring in his Weezing. This was the mistake I made. He keeps his Chatot in, and I went for a Waterfall. Obviously, he's not going to 2-hit KO me, but the other problem is the Life Orb recoil. So eventually, I would have been kind of screwed. But I think my final poke... See, now this is the hacks. I crit him. I crit his Weezing, and he would have thundered me. So pretty much, had I gone for 2 DDs there, I would have been able to finish it off without that hacks, because I have a Toxicroak left that you haven't seen. So he would have, now a Waterfall, it would have hit his Weezing pretty dang hard, and it probably wouldn't have killed him a +4 or a +2 Waterfall, but my Toxicroak would have been able to sweep. But anyway, so I relied on the hacks. Apologize for the hacks. I don't know. That's just the game, I guess, man. Thanks for the battle. Great battler. Please sub to him, and I'll keep getting stuff out. Comment, rate, sub. See you guys.